Welcome to Mr. Belle Kitchen today. First of all, I would like to thank all my subscribers and all my viewer watchers been watching. I have a list of a lot of things people wanted me to cook in this Power XL, and today I would just like to say, if you haven't subscribed, just hit that little subscribe button, ding, and you are subscribed to Mr. Belle Kitchen. Today I have my daughter with me today, and Charmel, what are we going to be cooking today in this Power XL?
Today we're going to be making chicken Alfredo. So this is going to be a two-step recipe. Our first step will be cooking the chicken. So our ingredients will be 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 cups of Parmesan cheese, and we'll just sprinkle some parsley over it afterwards. We'll also be using 4 cups of penne pasta, and that's similar to 1 pound, or you could just use the whole box. We'll also be using 6 boneless chicken thighs that we've cut into cubes, and 3 tablespoons of butter, and 1 cluster of garlic.
And while we're getting all this ready, we have the water boiling for the penne pasta. And now I'm boiling the water for the pasta, and I just put a little bit oil into it, and I eyeball the oil and just put it in there. That way your pasta don't get stuck. So it's boiling, and I'm going to be pouring the pasta in a couple minutes. Okay, we're getting ready to put it on saute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the top off. You don't need this top when you're sauteing it. So I'm going to sit it right there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it on saute. It's on saute. I'm going to press this timer, set 350, and I'm going to set it for 40 minutes. And I'm going to press start right there. And now what it's doing, it's getting nice and warm and everything. And I'm going to let my daughter take over when it's nice and warm with the butter. She can put it in. Charmel, you want to?
So once it gets warm, it's still kind of cold right now, but once it gets warm, we're going to add in our 3 tablespoons of butter. So when it gets warm, we'll get back with you guys. Now that our water's boiling, we're going to add in our 4 cups of pasta. Also 1 pound of pasta, or all the pasta from the box. And then we're going to let that cook until they're nice and soft. Now that our pan is hot, we're going to add in our 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to let this melt all over. And then we're going to add in our chicken. And then after we add in our chicken, we're going to let it cook for a few minutes until it is cooked well. And then we're going to add in our seasoning. So we're just going to let this butter melt. So now that the butter is melted, my dad is going to add in the chicken.
So now I'm going to add in the chicken that what we cut to cubies, and we're just going to put it in here like that. And we're going to stir it up like this and let it get brown. I'm going to let my daughter finish taking over.
So we're going to let this cook until they turn white. And once they turn white, that's when we're going to add in our seasoning. So just let them sit like this for a good 3 to 5 minutes. And then we'll mix it again to get the other side cooked. So make sure everything's fully covered over the pan. That way it's like flat, and that way everything cooks evenly. Now that like this, the other side that's facing the pot looks cooked, we're gonna mix it around. That way the back side can get a little white too. The chicken looks white all over, but we're still gonna let it cook because we want the juice right here, the butter and chicken juice mixture, to be gone. So we're just gonna let that disintegrate. Now that the chicken is cooked and some of the juice looks gone, we're gonna start adding in our seasoning. So I'm gonna add in the oregano, and my dad's gonna add in the basil.
I'm going to add in the basil, just pour it in like that.
And then I'm going to mix it a bit, and then we're going to add in the salt and black pepper. So my dad's going to add in the pepper.
Pour the black pepper in there like that.
And
I'm going to add the salt in it.
And then we're going to mix this around, and then we're going to let it continue to cook.
And that looks so nice already. Okay, now I'm checking the pasta. The pasta is almost ready and looking good. As you see, it's boiling real nice and everything.
Our chicken is now cooked. We're going to turn off the powered cell and take the chicken out and put it in a separate bowl.
I'm gonna do past cancer, cut it off and take it out, and I'm just gonna rake it in the bowl. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break it out right in this bowl right here. Just like that. And rake everything out into that. Look at that. It looks so nice.
Now that step 1 is done, we're going to move on to step 2, which is making the sauce for the chicken Alfredo. We're starting with step 2, and we're going to be making the sauce. So now we're going to need 1 cluster of garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of butter, and 5 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of milk, and 2 cups of powdered cheese.
Set it on saute again. On saute, press the timer, set it for 350, and we're just gonna do this for 35 minutes. And my daughter gonna put the butter in, and I'm press start.
And now that's ready, we're gonna add in our 3 tablespoons of butter because our pot still should be semi-hot from the last time. When our butter is melted, we're gonna add in our minced garlic. So we're gonna add this in. And we're gonna saute these until they get a nice golden brown. Now that our garlic is a nice golden brown, I'm gonna slowly add in the flour, and then my dad's gonna add in the milk right away. This is good to have like a friend or a family member help you out because this is how you get the sauce nice and good. So I'm pouring a little flour, and he's gonna pour a little of the milk, and then we're gonna mix this up right away. That way it doesn't clump up. Now he's gonna add more milk. And then I'm going to add a little flour, and he's going to add more milk, and I'm going to add a little more flour.
And this is so the root don't get thick on it.
And then he's going to add a little more milk now.
Little lumps and
a
everything.
little more milk.
A little more milk.
And then I'm going to add a little more of the flour, and I'm going to mix this. And we'll need another half cup of milk, so get another half cup of milk. And while you're doing that, you can just mix it and add in a little more milk. Add a little more milk because we do not want it clumpy. So we're just going to mix this.
And this is our first time cooking this in the Power XL. So we're taking you step by step.
We're going to add a little more milk.
I'm going to add a little more milk in it.
And a little flour.
And a little flour. And this is what I'm saying, cooking with your family, with your kids and everything. That way they can help out if we need 2 hands on the Power XL. Like if you're doing a 2-part fish.
And then a little more flour. So we're just gonna mix this up. As you can see, since we did it like that, it's not clumpy. So this is giving the sauce, making the sauce nice and smooth.
As you see, it's not thick. It don't have no lumps in it. It's nice and smooth. And this will fry.
So now we're gonna add just a little more flour again, and then a little more milk.
I'm gonna add a little more milk in there.
And then I'm gonna add a little more flour, and that should be it. As you can see, the sauce is running, which is what we want. And so while it's like this, we're going to add in our seasonings.
Okay, I'm gonna handle the black pepper. We're gonna add that in.
Add the black pepper
And the
in.
salt.
Our salt. And we're gonna mix this up.
And the rig.
And add a little more milk.
And we're gonna add the basil.
Yes, and then we're gonna add in a little more milk because
And
it's getting
a little more milk so it don't just get too thick and lumped up on us.
So we're gonna add a little more milk like that. We're just gonna mix this until everything's well combined.
And it's just regular milk.
Yes, regular whole milk. Add another 1 cup of milk, and we're gonna mix this again. And then after that, we're gonna add in our 2 cups of cheese.
Ready for the cheese?
Yes, now we're gonna add.
And now we're gonna add in the 2 cups of Parmesan cheese. Just pour that in there like that.
Yes, and we're gonna mix this. This is supposed to help it get thick, and you'll know when it's thick when you'll be able to glide through it with a spoon. As you can see the bottom of the pan. So just keep mixing this until everything is well combined.
You want more?
And yes.
I'm gonna pour the rest of it in there while my daughter stir it up and everything.
Now we're just gonna mix.
And just mix that up until it gets nice and soft and good. I'm gonna take it like this and just mix it up like this and that and get it good. And yeah, get it nice and good. Now I'm going to strain the pasta and get it ready. I'm just going to pour it in the strainer just like this. And pour that in there and let it drain out.
As you can see, our sauce is now ready, and as you can do the spoon test, is you glide your spoon across the pan. You can see the bottom of the pan. That's how you know your sauce is thick enough. So now we're gonna press cancel because our sauce is done. So now my dad's gonna add in.
Now I'm gonna add in the pasta. We're gonna stir that up.
Yes, we're gonna flip this over like this. As you guys know, I already off the Power XL. This is just gonna be mixing it. That way everything is fully covered. And then we're gonna add our chicken that we cooked earlier.
You want me to add in?
Yes, he's gonna add.
Now I'm gonna add in this chicken like this.
And now that the chicken is all added, we're gonna mix this up again. Just like this. And we're gonna add in our parsley after we mix it a bit. Dad's gonna sprinkle lightly a little parsley on top after everything's mixed well, and then we're gonna mix it.
And I'm just gonna sprinkle it all in there, just like this. And my daughter, she's doing such a great job on this. I'm just gonna sprinkle that.
And then we're just gonna mix it again, and then that's your chicken Alfredo. We're gonna add this into a bowl so you guys can get a better look at it.
As you see, we took it out the pan, put it in this bowl right here, but this is the
chicken Alfredo. So
chicken Alfredo.
To top it off, I'm just gonna add a little bit more parsley to add a little more color to it. And then also, I wanted to mention that we only use 2 to 3 tablespoons of the flour because of the amount of sauce we are making. But that all depends on how much sauce. If you're gonna be making more sauce because you're gonna be feeding more people, then you would need more flour to help thicken the sauce up. So now my dad, he's gonna be our taste tester, and yeah. Go.
Well, I'm going to get a little bit of this from the side, and I'm going to see how this is. I'm the taster today, so it's hot. You know, pasta is hot and everything. Get an idea how this tastes. Gotta get a little more. It tastes good. It tastes good. The first time we're cooking it in the Power XL, it came out good. As you know, my daughter did most of the work and everything. She's learning how to cook good and everything. She took you step by step. And this is the way we do it in Mr. Belle Kitchen. We like taking you step by step. So, Shamel, you want to add anything to it? Okay, and that's Cooking with the Bells. We did it again. If you like it, subscribe, leave a comment in the box. And I have a lot of different notes people have been leaving for me to cook, and I will be cooking it in the Power XL. Right now I have a list, and this is one I'm on the list. So thank you for watching. Also, I already have a video on
how to make chicken Alfredo without using the Power XL. I'll link that in the description down below.
And thank you for watching.